In this video, I'll be showing you how to get more leads for your business and breaking down 5 strategies you can use to increase lead quality and increase lead quantity. And I'll also be giving you my personal recommendation on how to use each strategy specifically based on your goals. Hey, it's Connor from Instinct Education. We help business owners grow. If you're looking for more leads for your business, this video is going to show you exactly how to do that. The reason I'm giving you 5 strategies is because based on your specific goals, you may be looking for different things. What's important to understand is when you're generating leads, you're balancing 2 variables. Number 1 is lead quality, and number 2 is lead volume or quantity. Understand that if you want a lot of volume, you can do that, but it may sacrifice the quality. On the other hand, if you want very high quality leads, you can do that. However, the volume may be lower. Also understand that the price you pay for your lead is going to be determined by what you're looking for. If you're looking for high volume, then you may get leads for, let's say, $5. The problem is most of those leads may not actually convert to buying your product or service. On the other hand, if you're looking for lead quality, then you might pay, let's say, $50 per lead. But those leads may be more likely to buy your product and service. So balancing these 2 variables, quality and quantity, is something that you want to consider as we go through these 5 strategies for generating more leads. So the first variable you want to consider when you're trying to generate leads is what type of offer you're using that the lead or the prospect is going to be opting in for. You can use a free offer or you can use a paid offer. An example of a free offer might be offering something like a free PDF or ebook or training video, and people will opt in to consume that content. An example of a paid offer might be to offer, let's say you offer massage service, you might offer a $100 massage. And so depending on what the offer is that you're getting people to opt in for, will determine, again, the volume and the quality of people. If you're offering a free ebook, you'll likely have much higher volume of people opting in to receive that offer. However, if you're offering a $100 massage, then the volume may be lower, but the quality will be higher because these people are already aware of what they're opting in for and the price point associated with that. My suggestion when you're thinking about the offer is starting with something free. The reason is once you get someone to take one action, they're more likely to take a second and third action. And so an example of this would be if you offered a free ebook on how to relieve muscle pain, then people are going to be likely to take that first step quite easily because it's free. From there, you could give them the upsell of the $100 first massage as the example. And by doing that, people are going to be more committed because they've already taken these steps. And because of that consistency bias, they'll be more likely to follow through. The second variable you want to consider when you're trying to generate leads is the amount of information you're asking that lead to give you. If you're just asking people for, let's say, their email address, then chances are the volume of people that are opting in is going to be much higher. On the other hand, if you're asking people for their name, their phone number, their email address, their address, and maybe some other information, then the number of people that are going to opt in is going to be lower because you're asking them to do more. There's more friction between where they are and the offer that you're giving them. So when you're thinking about this, consider what information is vitally critical to the success of your campaign, and anything other than that should not be in your lead generation form. Let's say that you need someone's phone number because you're planning on calling them, then you would include that. But you might want to get rid of, for example, their address or their postcode if it's not totally critical. A mistake a lot of business owners make is their lead generation forms are filled with all these fields asking for all this information that isn't necessary. And by doing that, it creates more friction and ultimately less lead flow coming through your lead generation campaign. The third variable is the framing that the prospect goes through before they're able to opt in for your lead generation campaign. What a lot of businesses do is they'll run a Facebook lead generation campaign, for example, where prospects can opt in for your offer straight on Facebook. Now, by doing something like that, you will get high volume. You'll get a lot of people opting in because it's very simple for people to do so. The problem is there's not a lot of framing. There's not a lot of pre-qualification going on. And so the quality of people opting in can be low. An example of how you could improve that would be sending prospects to a landing page before they're able to opt in. That landing page could have specific information that prospects need to read before they can opt in. By doing that, they're going to be more qualified. They're going to understand what it is they're opting in for, and therefore the quality of those people will be higher. A way to make that even better or go one step further would be making prospects watch a VSL or a webinar or a sales video before they opt in. by making them sit through a, let's say 30-minute training video before they can opt in, you know that that person has had a lot of pre-framing, they've been qualified, they've been educated. And so the quality of the leads that you get is going to be much higher. But as always, by doing that, the quantity will likely be lower. So this is another variable you want to consider. What type of framing do you want to use? My recommendation, again, is start with the simple solution, which is sending someone to a basic landing page. You get a bit of framing, you can give them some information, they know what it is they're opting in for, but it's not creating so much friction that the overall volume of prospects will be reduced. The fourth variable you want to consider is the type of questions in your application. So if you want to increase lead quality, you can put an application form before they're able to opt in. In this application form, you can ask specific questions to further qualify your leads. By doing this, you will increase the quality of the people, but again, every additional question you ask will decrease the overall quantity, the volume. So an example would be asking a question like, if you sell the product for $5,000, you might have a question on your application that says, are you willing to invest a minimum of $5,000 to solve this problem? And get them to answer yes or no. Again, by doing that, you're qualifying people quite a lot. And that way, the quality of people that are moving through is going to be higher. But again, on the reverse flip side of that, the volume, the quantity of people will be lower. My suggestion would be to start with as few questions as possible to get that volume coming through. And then if the quality isn't where you want it to be, you can start to add additional questions on top until you find that sweet spot of high volume as well as high quality. The fifth and final variable to consider when you're creating a lead generation campaign is the type of action you're getting prospects to take. Are you asking people to fill out a form and then you get in contact with them? If so, that's going to be quite simple for the prospect to do. If you're asking people to find a time in your calendar and book an appointment, that action is a higher commitment and therefore less people will be likely to do it. So when you're considering what type of action, again, start with an action that's simple. Get someone to fill out a form, and if you have a sales team or if you're willing to do it yourself, you can call them. As you try to increase the quality of people, you might want to change that action to something like booking a time directly into a calendar. By doing that, again, you're adding more friction, you're adding more steps, but the quality of the prospects that are moving through your campaign is going to be much higher. So there are the 5 variables that you can consider when you're setting up a lead generation campaign. Again, my suggestion is start with the actions that are most simple so you can get the highest volume of leads coming through. And then once you've got that flow, you can start to tweak and change things to increase the quality. And ultimately what you want to do is find this balance where you have sufficient volume as well as high enough quality that those leads are actually converting. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you'd like to learn more, click the link in the description and I'll see you next time.